Welcome, Hoarders. They're going to be playing some more Gran Turismo Sport. This is my magnificently beautiful car. I actually made it over the last weekend because my computer wasn't working. I'll get more into that in a little bit. I call it the music car, or the music M4, bottom left-hand corner. I know not all the logos on it are music related, like Pirelli and all of those logos right behind the front wheels. They're like the really small logos. They're like 3M and all that stuff. The rest of the stuff is music other than Mountain Dew. And I guess technically Shure and Pioneer and Bose are considered music, because they're like music companies, make like CD players, speakers, all that type of stuff. But I'm very proud of making that. This is actually my second time recording this, because for some reason, let me get into the start of all this. I posted on Twitter like a week ago that my computer, there might not be videos for a little while because my computer was not working. What happened was I had a graphics card that drew just a little bit too much power. So when I was rendering videos, every once in a while it would shut off, and I was like, that's not a huge problem. And what happened was I was rendering a Red Dead Redemption video, Red Dead Redemption 2, and I completely fried my power supply. It wasn't just the fuse blown or something like that, it was something more serious. So I had to buy an all-new power supply, and I'm also using my old graphics card, which I'm not extremely happy about. The only thing that really changes for the type of stuff I do is, like, obviously my summer car can run better with a better graphics card, and some of the other games that I play on PC. But the big thing is that graphics cards are so helpful. It's so helpful to have a good one when you're editing videos, because then you don't have to wait for the waveforms to load and all that other stuff, so you can get it done a lot faster. Which is what I wanted to do. In case you were wondering, I had a, what was it? A Spectre, R9 250. Which is a pretty decent graphics card for $60. It's an older version of one, but those were like $600 graphics cards new. So they originally were not cheap, but it definitely works for what I needed it for. The only downside was that it's really power hungry. And just my luck, that happened. That blew out the day before I got my thermal paste, because I was going to change out my CPU cooler, because I went to a Goodwill and found a CPU cooler that would fit my motherboard. And believe it or not, it was a very good CPU cooler. It was a C6 heat pipe heatsink, which is way better than like any stock, CPU cooler. I shouldn't say better than any stock, because obviously if you build your own computer, like online, and have them deliver it to you or whatever, there's definitely better CPU coolers you could get there. But for The one that I had, mine was like the old style standard heat sink with a fan. And the heat pipe ones were significantly better than that. And to get a heat sink that is that good for $6, I got a great deal. And especially helps for overclocking. Like, I pretty much overclock anytime I'm on GTA 5 on my PC, because I have 1.5 billion mods downloaded, so it helps to keep that cold. Which I don't think I have any software that tells me how hot my heatsink is or how hot my CPU is. Get out to me way. But I was kind of annoyed because I put that in there while my power supply went out. So I couldn't even see if the thing worked yet. Like the power supply, I took it out. I did that method where you jump the green wire to the black wire, perfect, like right next to it, and grounded it, and it wouldn't start. Like the fan wouldn't even spin. So I knew that the thing was dead, and I looked at the fuse that's on the inside, which I do not recommend, unless you know what you are doing. I do not recommend you open your power supply and try to fix it yourself. They are very, very dangerous things. They store power, which means you could have it unplugged for like a full week, open it up and touch something, and you can still get fatally shocked. It's not a toy. I have some minor experience in electrical work, so I know more of what I'm doing than I'm sure that a lot of you, like regular people, do. I took like construction trades classes, not for like computer wiring and stuff. It was for residential wiring, but that transfers over quite easily to the extent of what I know about computers. For the most part, it's just plugging stuff in and having the right software and hardware, and knowing what fits where. But I am so happy. My old power supply was a 500 watt, and I bought a 750 watt to make sure I had enough, because the old graphics card just drew a little too much, combined with I have all 5 fans that you can have, and I have that whole fan adapter, like the control panel for all my fans, and they're LED fans, so that draws a little more power. Not much more power, but they do draw more than just a standard fan without any lights. But I'm kind of getting over the whole LEDs inside a computer thing, because sometimes I'll be uploading a video at night and I can't shut my computer off while it's uploading a video, so I'll just shut the monitor off, shut my speakers off, because my speakers also glow. They glow blue because of my previous computer. Was pretty much all blue stuff. So now at night, if I'm uploading a video, I just have a red glow over my entire room. Which, it can be annoying, but it doesn't bother me that much. I just thought it was an interesting thing. And the last time I tried recording this, I brought up the point of some of the decals that I have on this car. Obviously, the big one, Tom Petty on the hood. I wasn't very happy that the like racing number got pasted over it when you start races. But I have like Sure, Pirelli, all that other stuff. The main ones are Tom Petty, though. I got Lincoln Park, 3 or 4 different spots on here. The one that I really got into, that I was talking the last time I tried to record this, I was talking about 21 Pilots, and sometimes on iFunny, I'll be going through there and there'll be a 21 Pilots thing. I'll just check the comments, and I don't know why, like, people are doing, like, the Nickelback thing to them. They haven't done anything, they just, people don't like them for some reason. And I really don't get it, because for those of you who really get mad at me when I don't hit the brakes, because I was itching my eye, I don't get, like, for those of you who know me, I am into music quite a bit, but nowadays, there's so few actual good artists nowadays. And, like, I'm a part of, like, a record and CD collectors group, and I see people, like, dissing on Greta Van Fleet, which is a good band. And I don't know why people will go out there and go out of their way. They're like, oh, these bands suck. And I feel like as a person who likes those bands, like, there's no reason to just run around and be like, hey, this band sucks, this band sucks. I'll, like, joke around with my friends. Like, my one friend, like, his whole family loves Pink Floyd, and I tried listening. Like, I like their bigger hits, like Another Brick in the Wall, Comfortably Numb. That can get kind of boring. But I can realistically respect that that's what they like. And, like, my friends will joke back with me because I'd like, one of my absolute favorite bands are Bachman Turner Overdrive, which I'm sure a lot of you don't know them. And they'll be like, oh, they suck. I'm like, wow. But it's just, I don't know why that annoys me. That people can hate on a band, especially, you have no room to say that you don't like a band if you haven't listened to all of their albums, or at least one whole album. Like with Pink Floyd, I went on Spotify. I was actually planning on buying Dark Side of the Moon or The Wall, because they have songs on them that I know. Like Dark Side of the Moon, I believe Money is on that album, and I like that song, so that would be my reasoning behind buying that album, because if I'm going to spend the money on a record, I'm going to at least want one song that I like on it. But like the whole 21 Pilots thing, I own every record that they have ever made for 21 Pilots. Like, not every record, I mean just one of each. I have Vessel, Blurry Face, Trench, which is their newest one, and I have their Blurry Face live album, which I got for Christmas a little while ago, I think 2-3 years ago. And I just enjoy their music. I don't know, like, I feel like I'm going way more in depth about this than what you need to, but people throw out an opinion based on nearly nothing. I'm assuming that one guy that put on, it was either Facebook or iFunny, they were like, 21 Pilots only has 2 good songs. I'm assuming Stressed Out and Heathens are probably those 2 songs that he was referring to. But there's a lot of them are good. Like, even, what was that one? They have a song called Ruby. I don't remember what album it's on, but it sounds exactly like this one song on GTA 5. But I don't remember who sings it on GTA 5. It's like a spot on, like, exactly the same sound. At least the intro. But I don't know, I just love music. And, oh god, why I wanted to mention another band. I might start doing that from now on. Is like at the end of each week, like every Friday, I might mention like a band that you guys should go check out, or a specific song. Rather, that would probably be better, because I know you could go out to a band and, like, I would say, oh, look up Bachman Turner Overdrive, and you guys look up the song Blue Collar. That's not a great song by them, but I enjoy it, but I don't know if you guys would. But if I would say look up Bachman Turner Overdrive, I would say look up You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, or Hey You, like one of their big ones. On to what, the third race? I really do hope that this video doesn't end up like the last one. I was having some kind of arcing issue with my microphone, so it would get loud and do a weird, like a really weird loud pop all of a sudden. Which means I might have to go back through and solder some wires, which is... I can do it, I just don't enjoy doing it. But now that I have some heat shrink, I might be able to fix that way better than I could before. I bought like a really shitty soldering iron a while ago, and the one that I had, I actually had like a real soldering iron gun. It was like shaped like a gun with a soldering tip on it, and it was so much better than the one that I bought more recent, not that recently. I don't even use that one anymore. Move out me way. I should go back through, because I had to solder it before, because the cable was just way too long. But if I did that again, I don't know why I'm even talking about this. I really don't. I feel like I'm talking way too much, and I'm sure someone's going to go in the comments and agree. That is an ugly color, like a fucking mint green GTR. But God, you hear that backfiring coming from him. I don't think this was the track that I was worrying about. I think that's the next one. It's the one that I drove the GTR on last time, that I didn't know the track, which I should actually start. Maybe I should find an online lobby and see if I can find that track and just practice driving it, because I'm not used to it. I would love to get a McLaren on here. Was it a McLaren GR1? Or P1? I don't fucking know. The McLarens and the... like, the names are too similar to each other. And then you have vehicles like Porsches, where the names are all different, but they all look exactly the same. Not all, but most, like, pretty much from, like, 2002 and up, they all look really, really similar. Same thing with the Aston Martins, like the Aston Martin DB9 and the Vantage, Vanquish, all of those, they look exactly the same. I cannot tell the difference. But if I see them, I'm like, that's definitely an Aston Martin. That's definitely a Bugatti. That's definitely that. But getting real specific about certain ones, like even the Nissan GTRs, I can tell if it's a Nissan Skyline, but I don't know if it's an R35 or a R36 or I'm gonna start making stuff up now. R88. I really don't know all of them. Some people go way into depth with it. Like, there's people out there in the cars like I'm into music. which this channel, for those of you who are newer, might not know this actually. I looked recently. It's almost been 5 years since I started this YouTube channel. Like, since I created it. Obviously, my first upload was later than that. But since I created the channel, it's been about 5 years. I think it was April of 2014. Wait, 14? Yeah, I think it was 2014. April of 2014. So that was a long time ago. I remember, actually, you guys should go check out my 300 funny moments for 300 funny subscribers video. It's actually on my homepage. The reason I made it was actually because once I hit 300 subs, I was like, I want to make a video, like, for them. And it was pretty much one funny moment from 300 videos. And that took a long time to make that bad boy. That was like a full month. And especially to put the amount of work into it, to re-download my videos and then get like a 5-second clip out of every single one of them, some of them being several hours long. That's more like my streams, which you guys should also check that out. Because I never ever mention this stuff, and after having like that 5-day break, I now have to remember all the stuff that I kind of said since the last time I tried recording this. I mean, it was pretty much just after I finished recording it, I'm going back and re-recording it because nothing got saved, which is really annoying, which turns this video into a whole different type of video. It's more of me getting you all caught up on what happened, and why I was gone for a little bit. You guys might not have thought I was gone long, because I had all of last week's videos scheduled to go up, except for Thursday. Thursday was supposed to be up, but midway while rendering that's when my computer died. Or that's when my power supply died. So, yeah. I should have been hitting the brakes like a month ago. Thank you, other cars. This is the track that I was saying about. We're off to a perfect start. And I was thinking about starting live streams again. I did say a while ago I wanted to not start live streaming again until I had all of my previous live streams uploaded. Like recorded and uploaded. They're all recorded, but I have such a massive folder of previous streams that I haven't recorded them. Or that I haven't had time to edit them. Because some of them, like my longest game of Call of Duty Zombies, I was playing Origins on Black Ops 2. And that was like a 6-hour long video. And I was like, I have to edit all of this. And it was pretty badass. Suicide is badass. If you don't get that reference, I'm sorry. It's not what it sounds like. Why are you hitting the brakes? That's why you're dead. But this week, obviously Monday, which you're watching this right now. I hope you're watching this right now. Otherwise, I don't know how you would know that I'm saying this. Dun dun. Monday is obviously going to be this. Tuesday, I'm going to be testing the Class A Vamos on GTA 5. Wednesday, I'm going to be doing Gran Turismo 5. Thursday is going to be that Red Dead Redemption 2 video that was rendering while it killed my computer. it's actually, we burned down a tobacco field. And Friday is going to be Call of Duty 3, like it will be until we beat the game. Yeet. And a yeet. Here we go. Hit the brakes. I did try this track in first person instead of like the hood view like I'm doing now. The first person is not good on this track. It just isn't. You cannot see high enough to tell what's actually what, if that makes any sense. I think I itch my nose. I really hope I don't wreck. Hit that Apex, boy. Hit that Apex Legends. And then spin my tail end out. Oh, that was something else I brought up last time I tried recording this. I was playing Gran Turismo Sport online, kind of like right now, but we're not online right now. I was on the Nürburgring, and some guy, I saw him in my rearview mirror, trying to pass me. He came straight up behind me, so I moved over to the right, because track etiquette, like racing etiquette, is always pass on the left. I moved over to the right to let him pass on the left, and he passed me on the right through the grass on the Nürburgring, and he started putting in the chat how I'm an idiot and I don't know how to drive. And I'm like, are you for real, dude? Like, are you for real serious right now? I obviously was doing the right thing because I saw behind me, I was driving this exact car, and he was driving the Dodge Tomahawk, like one of the fastest cars in the game. And once I saw him, I moved over to let him by, and he obviously didn't know where to go. And that I was clearly giving him an area to drive through. And I still know his name on the game too. And I would love to run into him again because the session expired before I could fully tell him how I feel. Because he started a whole spiel about me being an idiot, and I wrecked my car once. What happened was me and a couple other people, like in this lobby, it wasn't like real races. It was like flick your headlights if you want to do like one lap around the Nürburgring. And what happened was I was turning to the right too hard, kind of like now. And I got my both rear wheels, I was like drifting sideways. I got both rear wheels in the dirt. And when both your rear wheels are in the dirt and you're drifting, you have little to no control. I spun around, I did like a 180 and started facing the opposite direction on the road, and a Ford GT40 hit me, and I posted in the chat, sorry. Like, I was talking to him, and the guy like pounced immediately. I was like, obviously you can't drive if you have to tell someone you're sorry. I was like, really? I did like 18 laps on the fucking Nürburgring and wrecked probably a total of 5 times. Because most of my wrecks happen because I push my car way too hard. Like, I push it past its limit. And you're not supposed to do that, but you also, as someone driving, you have to figure out your limit. Because not every car is the same. Not every car handles the same or has the same acceleration, same braking. Braking is mostly what gets me. Some cars have amazing brakes, other ones not so much. And what happened mostly on that accident was I was going too fast around this one turn, and I turned as hard as I could, and that's what started the drift. But to call someone out like that, and them saying that I was the problem, I'm like, are you fucking serious? You don't know track etiquette? Like, even in real life, unless you live in the UK, it's always pass on the left. Because if you pass on the left, you won't have to worry about, like, right turn lanes or stuff like that. Obviously, you're not supposed to be passing in those areas, but that's, like, part of the reason. And if you're in, like, a passing zone, if you're passing someone on the right, that doesn't even make sense. Because then you'd have to go through the grass, like that guy did. And also, like, when I said I saw him in a rear view mirror, it wasn't actually the rear view mirror, because I was using this view. I saw on the map that there was a blue triangle behind me, so I did that. I saw him and I moved over. The problem is with this view, with this specific car, because a lot of other cars I'll use the first person the whole time. The problem with this car is that I don't like the first person view. So I use the hood view, and there's no rear view mirror, so when I look back, I saw him for that amount of time and I moved over to the right, and I had no way of telling that he was going to move to the right. Just stupid people that don't understand that from his end, he might have thought I was doing something stupid, but in my mind, I wasn't, and in my mind, he was doing something stupid, but realistically, it was probably both fault, because I could have stayed on the left, because I was probably almost fully on the left side, and I looked back, saw him moved over to the right. And he might have thought, there's an opening on the right side, I'll just pass him on the right. But I saw him and I moved over. How many laps? One more after this? Get out of my way, bitch. Let's pass this Citroen up here. I was wondering what this car was the last time I did this race. I was thinking it was an Aston Martin Vulcan from a distance, but it's not. Oh, hit the brakes. A hinga-dinga-durgan. I absolutely love how I have this car set up, too. I love cars in this game with really hard suspension that also handle like a dream. I really don't think I'm that familiar with this track either, other than doing whatever races I've done so far with it. Ooh. It's okay, we didn't go too far off. I feel like I'm doing better this time through, though. A little slidey action. I need to start wearing my glasses again. This shit's all foggy. I got glaucoma. Not really, but hey, maybe I do. I don't even fully know what that is, to be completely honest. Last lap. After this, I also want to see, we might have gotten a daily reward car again. I don't know if we did. But we got I believe it was a Lamborghini Aventador. It was definitely a Lamborghini, but I don't know what one it was. I think it was like an SVG, maybe, something like that. And I'm just staying on the Rumbler. I know it's okay to touch them, but to go like the whole way. Yeet yeet. Cut that bad. A wee mo wet, a wee mo wet. we mow it in the jungle. I don't know why I'm singing this. The lion sleeps tonight. Okay, there we go. Hammer that throttle, boy. Hit the brakes later, but I think it was still like a perfect time to start hitting them, because some of these are more for cars that have terrible brakes. Like even on the Nürburgring, there's several turns that it tells you to hit the brakes, but you can just floor it through them and be perfectly fine. I've actually gotten to know that track very well. I fucked that turn up, but oh well, we have the speed and acceleration against these other cars that there shouldn't be any issue. Really, we would have beaten our fastest lap there if I wouldn't have wrecked at the end. It wasn't really a wreck, it was just sliding out a little. I consider a wreck hitting something. If you're hitting a guardrail or another car, that's a wreck. The next race we're going to be doing next Monday is the Lightweight K-Cup, which I looked into this, and it's literally just these three cars. I decided I was going to use the Honda S660, because one, I already own it. So there's literally only three cars that you can even use in this. 63 horsepower. Looks like that is the average that we're going to have. I'm going to try to set one up to be an absolute monster. Let's go see if I actually did get another daily reward car, which we didn't. So I'm going to be ending the video there. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click one of my previous, next, and related videos. And don't forget to check out my other social medias in the description down below.